Hey Bulldogs, Chris Bryant here. Got a quick quiz here for you CCNA and CCENT Bulldogs. This one is based on really a real world situation. I've seen it more than once, this kind of thing, and we're going to resolve it on a live Cisco router as well. So let's go ahead and dive into this. It's a simple little RIP config, as you'll see in a moment. And I'm also going to throw in an extra little real world troubleshooting tip as we go along. But let's say that you're on router 2 and you don't have access to router 1, which should be advertising a route directly to you. There are no middlemen here, there are no hidden access lists, no nothing, just a very basic setup. You don't have access to router 1 though, and you've got an angry, frustrated admin slash customer slash supervisor on the other end of the phone, which always adds to the excitement, right? I used to love that when I worked help desk and you'd have to continually answer the phone about why you weren't working on a problem. You always wanted to say, because I'm too busy answering the phone. But let's just say that this is your situation. What 2 commands can you run on router 2 that can help you diagnose this issue? What can you do there? We're going to get to that in just a second. Quickly, I want to thank you. We've got over 9,000 students on Udemy now. Actually, we got to spend some money and update that banner, by golly. And over 2,300 people are taking my CCNA video bootcamp right now, which is just fantastic. Thanks for your support out there. And I hope to see you out there very soon at udemy.com/u/Chris Bryant. That has a full list of my free and paid courses. You definitely want to check that out. Now let's hop back down here. And we're going to get on the live equipment here as well. Let me slide that over just a tad. And here's router 2. We got a couple of connected routes, but we don't have access to the router that's supposed to be advertising to us. And that happens sometimes. It's something we've got to get used to, because in most lab scenarios when you're studying, you have access to everything. And sometimes it just doesn't work that way. So I want you to get used to that, and also used to running your debugs, because this is the #1 thing that I wish someone had told me when I was studying for the CCNA, is how much you learn when you run debugs, when things are running well and when things are not running well, because that way you actually see what's going on. And what I would recommend here is debug IP rip followed by clear IP route asterisk. And I'll tell you exactly why while we see that coming in. And this is that other tip I wanted to give you. On occasion, I'll get an email or a tweet from someone and they'll say, I made these changes and it involves RIP networks, but the RIP routes are still there, and I don't know what's going on here, why they don't leave. Well, where EIGRP and OSPF converge almost immediately, when you make a network change, RIP doesn't. It's got all those timers built in. So what I do anytime that I'm made a change in RIP or I debug, I run clear IP route asterisk. And what that does is it empties your routing table of all dynamically learned routes. What's the big deal about that? Well, you don't have to wait for the regularly scheduled update from RIP, which may be 1 second away. It may be 29 seconds away, because we know we get updates every 30 seconds or so. And that way you don't have to wait for it, and you also clear out all your RIP routes. So if you're going to have ones that are going to time out over an 8-minute period, they just will be timed out immediately. Now, as a result of this debug, you can see immediately what the problem is. We're ignoring version 2 packets from that neighbor, and they're listed as illegal version. Well, why in the world would they be illegal? They would be illegal, and don't forget our great friend Show IP Protocols. They would be illegal because that interface is hard-coded for version 1. This is really easy to do, especially in a lab environment, and especially if you don't type a lot, because the 1 and the 2 are right next to each other. And when you hard code RIP for version 2, it's real easy when you're in a hurry to hit that 1 and not realize you did it. That happened to me more than once when I was getting my NA. It still happens on occasion, but I definitely want you to be aware of that. So a couple of great commands there we saw today. And also, of course, the UAll, when you put UAll, that's undebug all, and it's going to turn all of your debugs off. So quickly again, here's the output of debug IP RIP. Don't be scared of debugs, especially in a lab environment, because that's where you want to practice them. Don't ever practice them at work. And that's going to show you exactly what's going on. And when you're ignoring packets in RIP because of an illegal version, that sounds really sinister, but it's not. The simple fact is you've got a situation where the router At the other end of the connection is sending a packet of one type and you're only accepting another. And the next place I would check is Show IP Protocols, because that shows you what each interface is sending and receiving as far as RIP goes. That is it. Thank you so much for watching today's CCNA and CCENT Quick Quiz. Got plenty more of them on YouTube and plenty more to come. I'm Chris Bryant. Thanks for making TBA part of your CCNA success story.